For all the talk about the Republican primary, new polling shows it might be over before it starts. This from the Daily Mail, new polling from JL Partners, shows Republican voters in Iowa stand 452 days out from the general election. Trump holds a commanding lead, 43%, followed by DeSantis at 17%. 11% of Republican voters are still undecided. Tim Scott now in third place, surging, you might say. The most important word there is Iowa. The first Republican contest, the nominating contest, the caucus is less than 6 months away. And this weekend kicks off the Iowa State Fair, a literal cattle call of presidential candidates. With us now, Pat Grassley, Speaker of the Iowa House of Representatives, grandson of the longtime Senator Chuck Grassley. Mr. Speaker, it is good to see you, sir. I know you haven't endorsed anybody, but just give us the tea leaves here. How commanding is Donald Trump's lead in reality versus polling?
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate the opportunity. I think, as you've seen, Iowa's performed very well for former President Trump. And I think that there's a lot of momentum on the ground. A lot of people you talk to have a significant amount of loyalty to the past president. He has spent a lot of time here, not just leading up to this cycle, but while he was president, while he was running for re-election. So he's put a lot of time in just by his past experiences. And so that plays a big role with Iowans. And I think his policies that he supported, especially when it comes to agriculture and the economy, really play well in the state. And there's a track record there.
All right. So we think about the next 2 weeks in Iowa, and every presidential candidate is there. It's tradition. It is the unofficial start, I think you could say, of the election. Is there a lane for them?
Well, I think that's the beautiful thing about Iowa. I think there's always a lane for every candidate. If you just listed off leading into this, you're seeing someone like Senator Tim Scott making moves within the state because he's putting in the work. He's investing his time and money into the state. And that's one thing why I think Iowa being first in the nation really is a unique opportunity, because you don't have to have the biggest organization. You can go to county. You can do the full Grassley, visit all 99 counties, meet with activists within each county. And the important part about that is Iowans know how to ask the questions that it takes and what to ask of presidents. We've been doing this long enough now. They take their role very seriously. And I think that's why you see here in Iowa, Republicans are very energized to participate in that process after the Democrats pulled their caucuses away from Iowa. I think the Republicans have used this as an opportunity and are energized by that decision that the Democrats and Joe Biden have made to basically say Iowa's not important as part of this process the way it has been for years.
Yeah, well, I think it's fair to say that the Democrats are full well thumbing their noses at Iowa. President Biden wanted South Carolina to be the first nominating contest for Democrats. Biden is viewed favorably 34% of Iowans, down from 37% in October of 22. Viewed unfavorably 64%, an increase from 61% last year. Obama-Biden, their ticket won in 2008, 2012, and since then Iowa has gone hard right. The Wall Street Journal had a lot on this earlier in the week. We've done some segments about it, about the rural-urban divide now, as rural Democrats almost don't exist anymore. Is it that culture is upstream, politics is now downstream of culture, and rural culture is now just more aligned with Republican values?
I wouldn't. So here, I'll just speak for Iowa. I wouldn't say it's just rural Iowa. We kind of have those mid-tier sized. We have a little over 3 million people here, and a lot of those counties and cities that are kind of anywhere from 15 to 30,000 that have been Democrat strongholds for decades. I can give you a perfect example along the Mississippi River in the city of Clinton. We haven't held that seat in the state legislature in the House for over 40 years, and we won that seat. There are cities up all over the eastern side of the state and all throughout Iowa in which historically and when I say several elections, I'm talking 10, 20, 30, 40 years where we have Republicans haven't even been able to compete. And now those are all seats in which we hold within the legislature.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.